Good evening, world, and welcome to Haunting Season. Tonight, Cody and I will revisit my very first story on this channel. Cody will be hearing it for the first time, and then afterwards we'll talk about it. This is episode 4 of this month, The Archive Show.
I've got a little bit of a story. It's a story that you may or may not believe. Usually when things like this happen in the supernatural, people think they blow them out of proportion. I'm not gonna tell you what this is. I can't. What I can do is tell you what happened, and in the process, you'll understand why I'm so compelled to tell stories that involve the supernatural. So right near where I grew up, there was a place called Hilltop, and it was like an old age home that burnt down with a bunch of people in it. Of course, as a high schooler, I really wanted to go inside. I wanted to go at night. It's just so much more fun that way. So let me break down who was there. There was a guy named Dan, a bodybuilder type, very tough, very rugged. What would you do if a ghost popped up right in front of you? You'd be like, I'll punch him in the face. Next down the line, there was Mike. What he wanted to do with his life is become a cop, but he also had an emotional side. You know, we like acted in some plays together. Then we had Guy. He absolutely wasn't a wuss, but he was a little bit of a terrified kind of guy when you got too far into it. And there was me, who tried to be tough, but was really a wuss. Something you should know about this building is it's got 5 floors and an attic, and the attic is where the fire started. If you go up to the 5th floor, apparently you can see New York City from there. That was our goal of going in here, was not only to kind of freak ourselves out, but to see New York City from like the vantage point. We go up to this place, right? We park like 5 or 6 blocks away because technically it's illegal to go into these places. We squeeze through the gate, there's about a human-sized gap, and we start climbing up this huge hill, and the snow was like up to our knees and it was ice on top, and we crunched through every step of the way. The driveway went up and then like curved around, and Hiltop was on top of the hill. We made our way through the basement, and there was like this little tiny corridor, like shoulder to shoulder wide. Dan, the big buff guy, he goes like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna go check it out. And we're like, okay, yeah, but we're not going with you. So he goes down this corridor, and that makes like a right. He like kind of, you know, like, ah! We're like, whoa, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, Josh, don't come in here, because there's a mirror. So if you don't know this about me, I'm terrified of mirrors in the dark. I'm not to the point where I have to hang something over them, but I will not look. And if I do, it just, something inside of me just, so Dan came back, and then we were going through, and we get to a stairwell, and we made our way up to the lobby. There was a cross cut out of the wall, and next to it was spray painted knock 3 times. And we were all like daring each other to do it. We're like, go knock 3 times, and I was saying like, oh yeah, I bet Dan, if you knock 3 times, like an arm would come through and just rip you through the wall and we'd never see you again. He goes, yeah, I'm not afraid. He reached up and that was the moment when we started to hear things. And all of a sudden we can hear the snow melting into the inside of the building, dripping. And all of a sudden we can hear creaks all around us. The building literally coming alive. So the next thing we did was we walked up to this door. We go through that door and it closes behind us, and it's even darker there. Everyone decides to go in this room on the right. Dan goes in first and he goes, yo, Josh, mirror. And I was like, okay, I'll stay outside. So I'm standing here and the light's flooding out just around the floor, and I'm standing there. I'm trying not to look at anything because I don't want to freak myself out and I don't want to see anything that's not there. I'm kind of looking at my feet and I'm watching the light dance. And all of a sudden I'm watching the light dance on someone else's feet. And all of a sudden the light started coming up a little bit, and it looked like a body sort of curled up in the corner. And I was trying to force myself to speak, and I couldn't. It finally came out, Dan. And he goes, yeah, with the flashlight, and shines it right out at me, right as the heel of whoever this was goes around the rest of the zigzag. And he goes, what the fuck? He goes running towards it. We're like, Dan, no! And he runs around the corner. So we run around the corner and we stop. And there's a bat going up and down the hallway. And every time it gets a little bit closer and goes all the way back down, and then a little bit closer. And all of a sudden it just over our heads, and we turn around and there's nothing there. So Guy starts going, dude, we gotta get out of here. And Mike starts going, yeah, I know, buddy, but we gotta see New York City. And Dan's like, yeah, screw you guys. I'm going all the way to the top whether you wanna go or not. And none of us wanted to go anywhere without Dan. So we start making our way up the stairwell. Staircase, landing. So we make it up to the second floor, and the door was open. So we all leaned around the corner and looked, and just endless hallway. Doors on both sides. All the way down every couple of feet. And we all lean back. We all lean around the other side, and endless hallway, just doors as far as you can see. And the noises, all the time getting louder, the dripping. I don't think it was actually getting louder. I think we were just becoming more and more aware of it. Finally, we're on the 5th floor. We look down this way, endless hallway, doors on either side. We look this way, and we go just to the first door. We just want to see the city. So Dan goes to push the door open, and it goes and stops. And he goes, what the fuck? And he kicks the door, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's just he starts freaking out, punching the door, and we're like, Dan, calm down. He's making all this noise, and we're like, Dan, stop. And he finally kicks the door open, and the bed had been put against it from the other side. And all of a sudden, we hear laughter at the end of the hallway. Just like that. It's echoing. And it sounds all the way at the end of the hallway, but it also sounds right here at the same time. And it also sounds like it's echoing all around us at the same time. And Guy goes, screw you guys, I'm running. And we're like, no. So we run after him because we don't want anything to happen to him. So we're running down the stairs, and there's the footsteps and the dripping as we're pounding down these stairs trying to get to the basement. And meanwhile, the laughter is right behind us. It's like right here, but it's also echoing everywhere at once, and it's also really far away all at once. And we ran down and down and down and down through the lobby, down the stairs, out into the snow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And when we finally clear the fence, we turn around, and Guy has his flashlight up at the window, frozen, and we all very clearly see a woman in a white dress. And he goes, are you seeing this? We're like, yes, Guy, we gotta get the hell out of here. So we're all running through the snow. Crunch, crunch. Our jeans from the knee down are just soaked. Our shins are getting all cut up from the ice. And we finally get to the curve, and we look back, and Guy's standing about 10 feet away, and behind him is like a 7-foot shadow, just kind of hunched over and just kind of hovering a little bit over the snow. Clear as day, in a clearing with nothing but snow as a backdrop. And all of a sudden, it moves. It just starts. Guy turns around and he sees it and just starts running, and he runs past us, and we all start running, and we all run past him. I look back, and Guy is face down in the snow, and he just yells out, don't leave me. And I ran back, and I grabbed his hand, and I got him up, and I looked up, and I swear I saw it jumping tree to tree to tree, just teasing us as we left. We got through the gate and just ran to our car. And I never went back. And to this day, I don't know if it was someone messing with us. I don't know if it was a real supernatural experience. I just don't know. And it was that experience that makes me so excited to bring to you the best stories I could possibly think of, with the goal of always trying to match that experience, that level of fear, that level of questioning, and that level of awesomeness.
That was a good story.
It kind of holds up. It was my first one, so it's a little like...
It holds up really well, and like the sounds. I know you talked about how you have to listen to this stuff in the dark, and this is like, I started it, I guess my phones weren't on, so it was kind of just like playing, and then I plugged my phones in, and it was a completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, it like just like some of the things that I'm remembering now are like popping out of this, like walking through the snow. And then the knocks, when you said there's like this silence and it's like very eerie. and then there's the 3 knocks, and then you, and then hearing them in the phones, and then all of a sudden the sounds you're describing, where it's like you start to hear the snow melt, and you're hearing it in the audio.
I probably listened to it like 150 times while I was editing it, agonizing over all of this, because that's what you tend to do as an editor. But then, I don't think I ever listened to it ever again or ever watched it again. So I assumed that this would be my worst of all the stories. So now I'm interested to find out which one is the worst of all my stories, because I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you knocked it out of the park. Very first time, very first pitch, boink, gone.
And here we are now with a brand new show based on the old thing.
If you were afraid that you thought this was not going to hold up, I can't wait to see what are the ones where you feel like, oh, I found my rhythm here. I found my voice here.
Yeah, and then I'm sure some of them are just garbage. I mean, trying to write a story once a week and then also produce it and film it and edit it and get it out by Friday, like that process was so exhausting that I'm sure some of them are just like, where did you come up with this junk?
So now I have to ask you, is this like based on a true story? Did this really actually happen to you?
The legend goes, so we filmed the whole thing, right? That's part of the story, is the video camera. I know we went back and we immediately rewatched and we're like, whoa, there was something in the window. Whoa, there was something right there, at the top of the stairs. And it was really really frightening. And it's funny, on the video, we were running and we ran back to the car, which was 5 blocks away, in 15 seconds.
Jeez.
And so we lost the tape. And then years later, I put this out. Still hadn't seen the tape. It was just memory. And then my friends, Mike and Guy, reached back out to me and they were like, hey, we want to come visit you. We saw you put up the story from Hilltop. We want to come visit you. And they came and saw me in the city. It was 5 years later or more, maybe. No, it was almost 10 years maybe at that point. And Mike had found the tape. It was at the bottom of a basket that their family keeps all their shoes in. And he found the tape in there, and we digitized it. And for a while it was up on Haunting Season until Guy got a job as a teacher and his kids found it. And, we were teenagers, so it's all just us cursing and trying to look cool in front of each other and peeing in the woods and stuff. So it had to come down, but someday we can look at it.
So there it exists. You have the footage.
It's privatized on YouTube. I probably shouldn't be saying this because then people are going to beg me to put it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to see this.
Maybe we can cut little bits and pieces in as a teaser or something. But yeah, I mean, it's very long. We were up there for 90 minutes. We filmed the whole thing. So
you can see the woman, the lady
it's
up in the window.
So it's handy cam from the early 2000s. So it's very low quality, and it was I think it was infrared. So it's early infrared, handy cam on a tape that was at the bottom of a shoe rack it's horrible quality. When you play it back, you can see very clearly that it's a human head.
Wow.
But when you go frame by frame, it just whites out the whole screen and then doesn't.
Oh, that's amazing.
Something like that.
And then what about
so long.
Can you hear the laughter and all that kind of stuff?
Oh no, it's probably just a bunch of
Okay.
Because we're all running.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Joshua, what a story.
Yeah.
Way to kick off the haunting season. Come on.
Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was super fun. We'll keep doing this the 4th Friday of every month. And yeah. Haunting Season was created by me, Joshua Sterling Bragg, produced by Greg Holdsman and Jessica Richmond, and executive produced by Matt Geelan, Patrick James Lynch, and Ryan Geelan, and is a joint production of Believe Limited and Matt Geelan.
This episode was hosted by me, Cody Dugan.
And me, Joshua Sterling Bragg. Also, this story is from back in the day, so I kind of did everything on this story. I wrote it, I recorded it,
Edited by Colby Crow, and select music in this episode, including this final track, was made by North Innsbruck. Links are in the description. If you like our show, please subscribe on your favorite platform. Full episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, next week is one of those bizarre 5th weeks you get a few times a year, messes with your paychecks and makes you say things like, didn't this month last so damn long? And so, in accordance with the pact that Josh and I made, we're going to try a live episode. Yes, next Friday. That's going to be Friday night on Mischief Night, the night before Halloween. We'll do it on youtube.com/Mischief haunting season, then posted on other places the next day, Halloween Day. So we'll see you there if you dare.